Before this video gets kicked off, I would like to say that if you're freaking out because this is a re-upload of a video that was uploaded a while ago, yeah, you're not wrong. This is a re-upload of a video, except this time it actually has video in it, and I just want to bring this up for the people who are kind of seeing my channel as this goes up. This will be normal within the playlist, so if you are watching this content through the playlist, you will be able to see this normally in the proper order. But for those who are not watching this in the playlist, this video was originally uploaded a while ago, and it was a little bit messed up, just a tiny bit. For the first around 4 minutes or so, the video was perfectly fine. Everything was going as planned. And then, for whatever reason, the audio, which was my commentary, the game audio, and the game visuals all cut out. It just went straight to black. There were other layers above that just stayed fine. For example, later on, maybe like 12 minutes in, there was an overlay for something called Hyrule Maps or something like that. I'm not quite sure. It's been a while since I last edited this video, because I haven't actually, at the point of recording this, I haven't re-edited the video. But the point is, there were quite a few editing issues. Apparently my editing software sometimes likes to just mute certain tracks after a certain point, which I don't understand. It's been perfectly fine for the past few years. And by years, yes, I've been using this for more than 1 year. I've been using this for longer than I've been on this channel, and it's been fine until now. So I don't necessarily understand why my editing software is freaking out now. I'm gonna look into it to see if I can fix this issue. But yeah, sometimes when I render something, it just decides to say, let's cut out like 12 minutes of this video and have just nothing there. And I can't really upload a video like that and just keep it there. So while my OCD will be kind of freaking out, because there's going to be episode 47 of this series uploaded after episode, or not 47, 57 after 59, I think is what's up at the moment. I think. I'm not quite sure. But yeah. I'd also like to point out that this was brought up to me by someone named Joe. He has a YouTube channel called The Joe Bro Show, or just Joe Bro Show. Either or works, I think. I apologize if either or does not work. But yeah, I really appreciate him for pointing this out because I completely missed it. What I usually do is I edit my videos and I kind of multitask while doing it. I like click off onto something else and like do visual design for videos that are coming up in the series, or do visual design for series I want to do in the future, etc. And I sometimes miss visual errors. I have no idea how I missed this visual error because it was also an audio error and it was major. But, yeah, I wouldn't have noticed this. I've started to kind of skim through videos now, to check, to make sure everything is perfectly fine in all the rest of the videos. But, yeah, thank you to Joe. Thank you so much. I would not have noticed this. That video would have been messed up for the rest of the time. It legitimately would have, so I really appreciate you pointing that out to me. He's doing his own series at the moment on Path of Radiance, and that's quite interesting, so I'd recommend checking it out. But enough with the shoutouts. I'm going to actually get into the video, and hopefully this time, it'll work out a little bit better. Welcome back to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I have an issue. I have a problem that I need to talk about immediately, which I would have completely ignored if it didn't kind of ruin this video in a few different ways. I am having to re-record this, and I genuinely for a while forgot how much I despised autosaving in video games, how much I despised Elgato for being the way it is, but it all came rushing back to me within only a few seconds. All the way over there, you'll notice that that is the area that I need to go to. I am in the Rito village, or rather close to it, and, you know, I'm in the area that I need to be, and that over there is where I need to go. Alas, there was a recording failure, and as I've already stated, Elgato is very annoying. I tried to save something to an external hard drive immediately from Elgato, but apparently that causes frame skipping within the video that cannot be fixed at all, and it ruins the entire video because it goes throughout. It's not just every once in a while, because if it was, I would be able to fix that, but no, it was throughout the entire video, and it ruined it both visually and audio-wise. So there's that, and I also auto-saved all the way down here, after I completed one of the important shrines that I needed to do for this. So autosaving is also an issue, and I just... whatever. Honestly, I'm not too mad about this, because I can go back through the shrine. It won't necessarily be the same, but I can go through the shrine and kind of run you through the motions. And this, getting to this area was relatively unchanged from the Zora's Domain one. So there's that. Fun-a-rooney. And now that I'm actually back here, I might as well show off something else, so I guess it's kind of a blessing in disguise that that recording failed, as much as it can be a blessing. When you have actually completed a shrine, it'll show you that you have completed the shrine through this little, it looks like a one-hit obliterator, appearing blue over top of the shrine, or over top of the area that you need to go for the shrine, rather than appearing orange. So there's that. I can still talk to Cass. He sang me another song, and I'm kind of sad. I don't know if I can listen to it again, but I might as well try. We meet again. It's good to see you, Will. Would you like to hear a verse about the champion challenging the trial? I can hear it again. Okay, yes, please. Excellent. Without further ado. How did you like it? Did it help you visualize the champion's bravery? So there we go. We have 3 challenges to do. I'm gonna go over to the one I finished first and kind of show that off. It should be right over, yeah, here. Immediately right over there. Alright, so now that we have teleported to this shrine that's really close to the shooting range, that you can find, what's his name? The edgy bird, the edgy one. Now that we're over here, I might as well tell you how you're meant to open up this shrine, but it's already kind of done, so What you're meant to do is, while you are in slow motion, use 4 of your arrows and hit 4 targets. Once you've hit 4, using only... what is it? It's hard to say. It's hard to explain, because there's not really a given name for slowing down motion midair, but essentially, you slow down motion midair, and after doing that, you'll be able to shoot 4 targets, once you've hit 4 targets, which I recommend doing by going for the middle, because in this middle, peg type thing, there are 4 really easy to hit targets, and you can just hit them there, but once you've I almost said hitten. My lord, once you hit 4, this shrine will open up and you can go inside. I actually like the fact... Can I talk today? Apparently not. I like the fact that they hid something at the bottom of the flight range, because it feels like there should be something there, but there's just not. And it makes me kind of sad. And I actually can redo the entirety of this shrine. Nice! Nice! So everything is actually working out somewhat well. So, essentially, what this shrine is all about is activating switches that will allow you to get up higher and essentially get to the top of this area. Essentially, it'll activate wind currents. It's not too difficult to do. That should be perfect. That's good enough, actually. I should be able to walk in here now. Yep, easy. So, something I'd like to say immediately, right off the bat, is I love this shrine. This shrine is challenging, it's interesting, it's fun. There's not a single part of this shrine I find to be annoying or uninteresting. All of it is fun. And it kind of brings up this other thing I have to say about the shrines later in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, specifically in DLC Pack 2. And what I want to say about them is, why couldn't all of the shrines been like this? And, you know, I'm not trying to say that any of the other shrines in the beginning of this game, throughout the actual main game and not the DLC pack, I'm not trying to say they were bad or lackluster. I found them fun as well. But Champion's Ballad, it makes me. so sad that not all of the shrines were similar to the shrines that you can find in this DLC pack, because the ones you can find here are so solid. They're insanely solid. And, you know, I don't want to say that the other shrines in this game aren't solid. They're not good, because that would be a big fat lie. They are fun, but this one just shows off how intricate and how interesting the shrines could have been. And, you know, Nintendo did, again, shrines perfectly fine. I think there are challenging shrines in the main game, but all of the shrines in DLC Pack 2 are interesting, challenging. They do something with the mechanics that were shown off in the base game, and they change them enough to make them interesting, to add for interesting puzzles. Why couldn't the entire game be like this? And you know, I keep saying it over and over. I still like the shrines in the main game, and I don't think that the shrines in the main game are bad, per se. They're just so meh compared to these shrines. And maybe that's just because I like more of a challenge, and I understand that Nintendo doesn't want to make all of the shrines very difficult, because they don't want to make the game inaccessible for a lot of people. But, like, I don't know. This seems like it would be something that would fit so well in the base game, and it doesn't seem like it needs to be within Champion's Ballad, but whatever. That's the entire shrine. It's pretty simple, but it's really fun. Actually, something I just noticed is that I have 4 spirit orbs I've never used. So, I'm actually gonna go and get something from them, because I kind of don't like seeing 4 spirit orbs in my inventory that aren't used while I'm not exploring, so I do want to see if I can get something from them. I got them from the first few trials I did with the one-hit obliterator challenge, so there you go. That's where I got them from. I didn't actually do anything kind of off-screen or anything like that that would make me get 4 spirit orbs. I did everything on screen. I just completely forgot that you did get spirit orbs from them. So, that's cool. I am going to get a stamina vessel, because I think I have enough hearts. One more heart should actually take me to the next row, and I don't necessarily feel like I need another row of hearts. So I'm going to go for a stamina vessel, because I actually have been kind of sad I haven't had enough stamina for certain things. In my main save file, I have a full 3 wheels of stamina, and not having all that is making me a little bit sad. So I might actually go do a few shrines, later on, so I can actually fill out the entirety of my wheel, because it hurts. It genuinely hurts. It really, really does hurt. But yeah, that's that. That's all I want to do here. I'm gonna continue on and move on to the next shrine. So, yeah, there's that. We're done. Actually, before I go to the next shrine that I need to go to, don't go to the Dunba Tog shrine, or however you say that, to get to this area right over here. I actually forgot to mention, hey, you have to go over here for one of the shrines, up here for one of the shrines, and down here for one of the shrines. I always forget to do that, and I apologize for that. But, I'm gonna go here next, and don't go to this shrine, because it's on a much lower level, and you'll actually have to climb a little bit. Go to the Hebra Tower. It's just so much easier to glide down. Go to the Hebra Tower. But hey, if you like climbing, be my guest. God, this game has always been beautiful, and I've always known that. But I can't help just noticing it at random intervals sometimes. You know, like, it's really, really pretty. It's really, really, really pretty. Even in these areas that look kind of barren, it's still really pretty. And, you know what, speaking of barren, I might as well say this. A lot of people dislike Breath of the Wild because they say there's not a lot to do. But I completely disagree. What happened there? Did you see that? The game kind of froze a little bit. I don't know what happened there specifically, but I'm not going to think about it too much. But a lot of people don't like Breath of the Wild because they say there's not a lot to do. There's nothing spread around the world. It feels so barren. And I cannot disagree more. I think this game does a fantastic job of making it so there's a lot for you to do in a lot of different areas. And whether that be Korok, seeds, etc., you know, it doesn't matter. There's still so much to do in these areas. And people say there's nothing to do, which is just, it's wrong. There are a decent amount of areas that are kind of barren and don't have a lot to do. But that's the minority, not the majority. So, you know, I don't know. People say a lot of things about this game that I just completely disagree with, and maybe I'll get into those later. But for now, let's actually head on to the next shrine. Oh, it's you. Do you need something? What brings you here? I came here because the elder tasked me with keeping watch of the dragon that appears around here. It's been appearing quite frequently these days. Everyone's worried it's going to cause trouble for the village. After that incident with Mado, I can't blame them for worrying. So far, everything seems fine, however. Just to be safe, I'll be scoping things out for a while. Come to think of it, the dragon always flies through here, through this valley at night. When it does, its horns light up. There's something about that light that's truly captivating. Alright, thank you. Thank you for that. Similar to something we did with the Zoras, this is actually an area where we have to wait for a certain time of day. Not really wait, more like use a fire to get to a certain type of day, and then we have to do a specific action. Back in Zora's Domain, it was going through kind of a hoop-esque thing, and now it's shooting the horns of a fire dragon. It's pretty simple, to be honest, but it's still fun. And I don't believe the fire dragon appears immediately when you go to night. He does take a little while. So, now that I'm waiting, there are a few things I want to talk about. Specifically, a site called Zelda Maps. If you go to zeldamaps.com, and let me first preface this by saying, if you want to 100% this game, please take my advice and go create an account on zeldamaps.com. Because zeldamaps.com, I found out about this like yesterday, and oh my god, it's so helpful. It's so helpful, especially if you're going for 100% with the Koroks, with all the shrines. You can create your own account, and you can mark things that you've done, and say they're completed, say that you need to go do them, stuff like that. So you can mark things as completed. It's kind of like Google Maps, but it's the Breath of the Wild map, and it shows off everything you needed to show off. You can make it show off only enemy unlocked chests, so like when you kill all the enemies, you unlock the chest, you can make it so it shows off only those. You can make it so it shows off only Korok seeds, bombable walls, shrines. It's insanely helpful, and I didn't know about it until just recently. It is so cool. I'd definitely recommend checking it out. Again, you can make an account so you can save all the progress you've done. So over the course of a few months, you can mark things off. You don't necessarily have to keep the website open all the time. You just have to have an account. So that's really, really cool. That's insanely cool. And, you know, people don't talk about it very often. From what I can tell, it's cool, though. I'd recommend using it, especially if you're going for 100%, which I'm never going to do, so I don't think I'm ever going to need a reason to actually use Zelda Maps. But it's just a cool thing. It's a cool concept. It's like Google Maps, again, but it's with the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild map. It's sweet. It's so cool. Over there, I'm going to mark that for later, because there is something I want to do over there that does pertain to DLC Pack 2 that I wasn't sure if I was going to do, but I kind of want to go do it, and I have extra time in this video, I think, so I might go do it, or I might complete the next shrine, because it shouldn't take too long. Something else to note, these videos will differ in the content that's done in them. I'm not necessarily going to go with the same format I always do. For example, what I thought I was going to be doing was starting off every single new area that I had to do the 3 shrines in by doing 2 shrines, and then doing the third one, or no, that's completely wrong. I was going to do what I did with the Zora's Domain, where I first started off listening to the Song of the Champion, doing 1 shrine, ending off the video, doing 2 shrines, ending off the video, and then doing the challenge with the Ganon whatever blight, and I would then move on to the next thing, lather, rinse, repeat. But I don't think I'm going to be doing that anymore, because, you know, I think some of these shrines take longer than others. I want to have a kind of consistent video schedule. I don't know, it's weird. It's weird to explain. Essentially, I'm going to be doing somewhat different things comparatively to the way I did them in Zora's Domain. So, yeah. That's the way that's going to work out. This dragon's taking a long time. So there's something else I might as well explain. I am going to be showing off something pretty cool later on down the line. And what I mean by pretty... Okay, there he is. What I mean by pretty cool is I recently got the champion, or the creating of a champion. I almost said the champion's ballad. Wow, it's almost like I'm playing that currently, right now, immediately. But no, I got the creating of a champion, which is something akin to like an art book, for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and oh my god, it's so cool. It's so cool so far, and I'm really, really into it. I want to show off certain segments whenever I don't really have a lot to talk about, and, I want to show off some art pieces from it and stuff like that. So I thought it would be kind of fun to do that. But yeah, the song that bard... you know what? Something else I forgot to mention. Cass is a bard, and he's a bird. Get it? Bard bird. Also, Cass is a fan favorite character, apparently. I don't understand why. He's not that cool to me, personally. But, he's a nice guy. He's a kind of cool looking bird, but his personality just doesn't do much for me, to be honest. But anyway, dragons. You essentially have to shoot this dragon's horn, as it was told in the song, and then the shrine all the way over there will open up. It's a pretty simple task, you just have to wait for him, which is the most difficult part. And something else to note about dragons, which I don't think I ever really talked about, is they do that. No, not slowing down the frame rate, they do that as well sometimes. But they shoot different elements at you. So for example, it could be fire, which we just saw, it could be electricity. They shoot different elements at you to try to get you far away from them, so if you want to shoot them, you want to kind of get this sweet spot, if I'm being honest. And, I don't know if I'm really making the most sense with what I'm saying. But, the best way I can explain it is kind of like a balancing act. What you want to do is stay far enough away to the point where you don't have to start leading your shots, but you also don't want to be so close to the point where they can use elemental attacks on you. It's, again, a balancing act. That's not too hard to get used to. This is a pretty fun shrine. I actually do like this one a lot. So, what I have to do is, first of all, get to the actual shrine itself. And second of all, you're going to have to be, that was all types of wrong. You're going to have to use bombs in this shrine. So, it's kind of like playing with the concept of using bombs and the wind pushing them in order to break certain blocks, stuff like that. You're going to have to do a few timing puzzles. It's a pretty fun concept. I like it a lot. And there's an easy way to break it. There's a really easy way to break it, which we'll get to in a minute. I'm gonna go the actual intended route at first, but once we get to the kind of annoying part of it, I'm gonna just snap this shrine in half by showing you something super crazy and super neat. Over here, this is where the timing gets a little bit challenging. What you have to do is use stasis on this weird spinning wheel thing, and essentially drop a bomb, time it perfectly, use it so that you can blow up those blocks over there. It can get a little bit challenging with the timing. If you don't have bomb arrows, that is. Bomb arrows break this challenge in half, and it just gets rid of some of the timing elements, not all of them. And you might think, well, that's kind of cheating. I don't want to use bomb arrows. And I would say no, it's really not kind of cheating. And you'll see what I mean as soon as I can get up to that chest, because it's kind of like they intended for you to use them. Just a little bit. Oh, look! 10 bomb arrows. It's totally cheating the puzzle when they give me the item that I need to complete the puzzle in the easiest fashion. Literally right next to the puzzle that's easy to complete while using that item. Totally cheating. Totally cheesing it. Okay, well, it is cheesing it, but it's not cheating. It is something that they actually considered you would do. It's nothing broken. Don't worry about it. And with that, that was literally the entirety of the shrine. It was real short, but it was still fun. If you didn't kind of break the challenge in half, it is a challenging shrine. I think the timing can get pretty difficult, and even when you do use the bomb arrows, it can be a little bit challenging to time yourself correctly, especially using the tilted kind of windblower things, because you have to kind of do this weird moving back and forth thing in order to stay within the current. I don't know, it's a little bit challenging even when you do use bomb arrows, is all I'm trying to say. Hey, did I mention the fact that it was challenging? Well, with that, I am taking off everything that's metal. And, with that done... Wait, is my, bow metal too? No, it's good not. Okay, good. Next time, on The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, we'll continue on and do the last shrine, and maybe a little bit extra. But, again, that's for next time. Until then.